What's good, fam? Uh let me get these shares out real quick. We're only gonna be up here for a second. Well, uh-oh. Ray's video, she going about to go viral. Good lord. No, I'm not going to shares out real quick. Lord. So I wasn't normal. I wasn't going to come out here this early today. Coming through another device. Hold on one second. I wasn't going to come up. Let me just make sure that I'm coming up. I know I'm on the book. YouTube just popped in. Okay, so we're good there. But I just have to. This is a warning space. This is more of like a PSA, and I'm going to put that in as I share. Interesting thing that just happened, and I don't really want to dig too deep into it. Appreciate all the family that has been sharing the content, sharing the message. Anybody who comes in on the live or the playback, this is a warning. This is a warning because I think we need to put each other up on what's happening out here. If we don't, we are our own worst enemy in that situation. I think we should always keep ourselves locked in on what's going on, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We should always try to keep one another in the know. So this is going to be my attempt to do that. Let me just get a couple other, because I know that the political messaging is not liked. Especially where we're concerned when we start talking about reparative justice, when we talk about all of the detrimental things that have happened and that are still happening. Those things are not liked. And they do what they can to try to suppress those messages. Oh, wow. You know what? Hold on one quick second. I don't believe it's allowing me. So this is funny. Hold on one second. I just want to go. So I'm going to do another one. Okay. So this is good. A couple people might. So we've got. What's good, Brother Tyrone? Sister Alexis, how you doing today? So this actually just gave credence to what I am coming up about today. So I am literally on Facebook, I am on YouTube, and I believe I am on Twitter. But I can't share the message on Facebook because I am now restricted on Facebook. I forgot for how many days, but none of the spaces that normally take the content can receive the content. And I think it said 6 days. Let me go to my page. Give me one quick second. This is funny. Yes. So it says your group activity. Can you see that? Is it? It's weird. Okay. It's blurry, so you probably can't see it. All right, but it says your group activity is restricted for 6 days. So I can't post in any of the groups. I can't share the stream in any of the groups, which is funny to me because that's where most of the content goes out that I put on Facebook. It doesn't go just on my page. It doesn't land and sit on my page. It's actually shared. So they're trying to hit me in my spot of where they know my strength is, where the message goes out to. Now, the reason being, appreciate you, Brother Tyrone. The reason being, Pharaoh said that, reached back and said for you to hit him up on Instagram to get in touch with him. I will definitely do that. I will definitely do that. I believe we can do some great work between what he does, what I do, what we do. I believe there's some great things that can be built there. So I will definitely be reaching out to the elder. So there was a post that was put up today, and I want to see if I can get that back to that post. It's a brother who I respect on the app. You know, his profile says black man, father, professor, black male, justice advocate, black Gnostic, son, fierce friend. So he put a post up. It said, child dies after grandma forces her to drink whiskey as mom watches. Okay. That's what the post was. And it said, and you know, the crazy thing is, let me see if I can actually share that link. I want y'all to be able to see, because you're not going to be able to see what I put because they took it down already. And I'm probably making more of this than maybe some people would. And I'm probably making more of this. Give me one quick second. Maybe some people would. And I'm probably making more of this. Let's see if that came in. Give me one quick second. Maybe. Did that? Okay. So that link that I just put into the chat, if y'all can see that here in the chat, there is a post, and the post is a grandma fed her granddaughter whiskey, and the mother sat by and did nothing. Maybe she was actually a proponent to it. I don't know. So I put in the comment, burn them both. And they didn't like that. And I get it. I get community guidelines. But obviously, when you say that, when I said that, people know what that phrase really means. They both need to go down. They both need to go to prison. They both need to get got. Right. But they said that I was inciting violence against the grandma and the mother, so they restricted my capabilities. Oh, you can't see the link. So if you can't see the link, then that means, you know what? Let me go on YouTube. Let me just go on YouTube and see. It might not be allowing me to actually So I put it through. It's going to echo for a second here. Let me get out of that. All right. So that post went up. I said what I said. And then like 10 minutes later, I started getting all these pop-ups, you know, and it was saying that I had violated the community guidelines by my comment. And then the restrictions came. So I was like, you know what? I got to talk about this. I got to talk about this now. Because the crazy thing, and you are so right. You are so right, Alexis. Our freedom of speech is almost gone. And is it just ours? Because I don't see this across the board. I see people that look like us being affected by these types of things more than anyone else. So I'm going to call bullshit where I see bullshit, right? But the main thing, what was their reasoning behind blocking that statement? So that's on Facebook. Wow. So that's on Facebook. So you would possibly have to go to, I don't know. I don't know. So I don't believe they would have. I just don't believe they would have. I've seen too many things that are, I mean, we're talking egregious commentary, egregious captions, and they stand, they run, they'll have 2,000-3,000 views. But they not only deleted my comment, they restricted, but they didn't restrict me. They didn't restrict me from posting. They restricted me from my group activities, which my group activities are a major part of my movement, of my message on Facebook. I mean, I leave things on Facebook, but they generally go to IG. I leave things on Facebook, but they generally go to the groups. Page not found. So I put the link on YouTube. And if the link is on YouTube, can you see it on YouTube? I thought y'all got it. I thought the link was on YouTube. Just so you can see. And brother, let me see. Hassan, I believe, is public. So you might be able to see his link anyway. You might be able to see this post. Or I think you do have to be a friend of his. You do have to be a friend of his. It looks like that. Okay. But so to anyone that shares the streams, you can do so. I just can't do so for 6 days. Okay. Life goes on there. It's now giving me the opportunity to appeal the decision. Why would I appeal? I already know that they're not going to put that comment back up. If they look at that comment as a violation of community guidelines, I'm not even asking them to put the comment back up. They mistook my comment saying that I was trying to incite violence on someone who killed a child. And I'm sorry, but if you're siding with the grandma here, if you have compassion for the grandma and the ma who just killed a child, they killed a child by feeding her whiskey. And because I said burn them both, I mean, we know in the street what that means. They both need to go. They need to have bracelets on forever. Even when they get in their cell, leave them cuffed up. They should never, ever be free again. You just killed your baby and you killed your grandbaby. That's nuts. That's nuts to me. But when I stepped up, I was like, okay, I just made that comment. That's why I had to title this, "The Losers Will Win the Race." They're going to win the race because people are more focused on community guidelines versus people standing up for the voiceless, for the powerless, for the children, for these elders. I just got sent something earlier about an elderly couple that had their home broken into by a sexual predator who should have been in prison. I don't believe that once you take someone's sexual innocence, you should ever be on the street. You are a predator. You took someone's sexual innocence without consent, with aggravation, with violence. You need to be in jail, period. There is no rehabilitation for a predator. There is absolutely no rehabilitation for a predator. There is no rehabilitation for an aggravated murderer. See, some people kill people in self-defense. I get it. Some people are forced to defend themselves, and there may be a homicide that takes place. I get that. But when you take someone's innocence or take someone's life, you should never, ever walk the street again. I have no flex in that. I have no flex in that. And whether it be an adult, whether it be a child, male, female, does not matter to me. If you do something against someone's will sexually, or you take their life, you need to go. I'm just there. I've seen enough of it throughout my life to prepare judgment call. Once you are a predator, you will always be a predator. There is nothing that can stop you from being a predator. Hypnosis, finding Jesus, forgiveness. There's no rehabilitation in that. So when someone says that they went to prison and they paid their debt to society, no, you can't pay your debt to society once you rape a woman, once you rape a child, once you rape a man. There is no rehabilitation for that. If someone is unjustly murdered and you didn't have to do it, you didn't, obviously it's unjust, you didn't have to do it. There was another way out. There was another way for you to go through doing whatever you had to do, but you chose to murder someone. There is no rehabilitation for that. Therefore, there should be no forgiveness for that. Therefore, your ass needs to stay every day, plus the day you die. Then they just throw you in the prison incinerator. You don't get a funeral. Your family don't get to come pick you up. Just throw his ass in the incinerator. Her, whoever. Yeah. Period. There's absolutely no rehabilitation for that. Here's another thing, and I just got sent this too. People are on fire today. I'm literally supposed to be on something else. But this is what I just read right before I got up here. I'm fed up. A 30-year-old homeless man living in a high school, posing as a student, and the administrators kept it secret from everyone until once people found out. Southfield A&T, that's right here in Michigan, needs to be investigated immediately. Outside kids sneak into school all the time, which is unsafe as it is, but now it's escalated to adults. This could be a fatal story next time if something isn't done about the neglect and the lack of awareness. Y'all know I've been on this whole thing with pathways here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. But this right here, the students were not warned, the staff was not informed, and the parents were not notified of what took place. Our kids are not safe. And then somebody put in here, they said we had a grown man posing as a student for over a month, didn't know it until today. The police picked him up today, and he's been coming to school for over a month. He said he's homeless and wanted to come in and eat breakfast, lunch, and chill somewhere warm. He had some friends. He made some friends, too. Had a crew. I guess so. He's 30. He's 30. He in there just basically just linking up. Getting 3 hots. I don't know if he got a cot, but whatever he got. Flat out. Flat out. A homeless person. And my thing is, I've said with all these buildings around here, why don't we have more warming centers in the winter, homeless shelters, just places for people that are on the street to be off the street? And within those places, we can have situations where people can come through and see who might be stable enough to get a job, who might be fit enough to jump into some program to where maybe in 30, 60, 90 days, they can find a substantive place to live, not be on the street, not be in a shelter. But what are we more focused on out here? Bullshit. Cleaning up parks. We're going to clean up parks. We're going to have some jazz concerts. How about let's go to some low-level violence potential areas and lock them down. Let's be security. And we can get money for it. We can get money for it. But see, like I said, none of those things affect me. I don't have a dog in those fights. Nobody's taking anything from me. So I just look at the stuff that people laud as, or they doing something for the community. No, they're doing something for themselves. Where there's a bag, hustlers are going to go get that bag. But this is a homeless man who was obviously astute enough to figure out, I can be here and get some breakfast, get some lunch, hang out. I'll attend a few classes. He caught him some classes along with some lunch, made some friends for over a month, and nobody knew nothing about it. This isn't a school. This is a high school. How do you have somebody walk in the halls every day and you don't know who he is? Don't schools, I mean, I don't know if this school wears uniforms or not, but I mean, shouldn't the teachers know you? It's almost second semester, if not second semester. It is second semester. Shouldn't they know who he was or who he wasn't? Come on, man. That's craziness. That's craziness. Well, I found another one of my drops that I really, really like. I like this drop. Niggas straight kill me, knowing that they pranksters. This is going out to you studio gangsters. Studio gangsters. That's what we got. We got a lot of studio gangsters out here. Want to be deep in the streets. Messing with little boys in the sheets. Come on now. Come on now. Highly disturbing. Highly disturbing. 30 years old. Now, I don't know if he's one of them 30-year-olds that didn't age and he kind of look. I don't care. He shouldn't look like he goes to that school. And how come nobody has tapped in and said, who is this? Where did he come from? He just germinated out of nowhere, just started showing up for breakfast and lunch and classes. And don't nobody have, how come one teacher didn't stop him and say, hey, what's your name? I think pretty much every teacher that he came in contact with needs to go. They need to go. That's a problem. You saw him for over a month and said nothing. You need to go. Everybody should be put on some type of probation until they figure out who had direct contact with him, and they need to go. What if he what if he had did something to one of these young girls out here? What if he had did something to one of these young boys? I mean, if parents ain't beating down the door of that principal today, there's a problem. Saying that you're gonna take your kid out of the school, that ain't the problem. Just get them administrators and those educators up out the paint that ain't doing their job. That's what we saying about pathways. I don't want anybody to lose their job. I especially don't want a black man or a black woman to lose their job. But if you're not doing right by my children, let's get somebody else in play. Let's get somebody else in play. It ain't no hard feelings. You just not the one. You not the one that we thought you was. You got to go now. You got to go. You got to get gone. Anything could have happened up in that school. And they need to go comb the school just to make sure ain't nothing happened. 30 days, he been in there with high school basketball games, girls and boys, other practices and things like, you don't know who he's encountered. You don't know who he's accosted, may have done something to. I'm not accusing him of doing anything, but I'm just saying the potential's pretty high, seeing that nobody knew he was in there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All their certificates need to be held up until everything is cleared and there's figured out that there absolutely nobody, no kid was affected in this. And then they need to be given their papers. Go find a job somewhere else. We need you out of our district because you are not astute and aware enough to be here. We don't need that, man. We don't need that. That's right. Taking your kid is the easy way out. And that protects you. That protects your child. But you basically saying you don't care nothing about the community. You know what? I think that's a violation of community guidelines. I think there needs to be another set of community guidelines. The community guidelines that I violated today, I'll own that. I'll own what I said. I'll own that. But this is a violation of other community guidelines. Right here, right now, there is a violation of community guidelines when you just say, oh, I'm just going to take my kid out to school and take them across the street to another school. No. You need to make sure those people that are in charge of that school get out of that school. You leave your child in that school because your child is already familiar there. Your child is already comfortable there. So leave your child to get their education there. You just find new educators. That's how you make change. Don't go running. Don't go run. Just like when I always complain about the Democrats. People be like, oh, come on over to the Republican side. No. Y'all fucked up over there too. When I need to come over to the Republican side, y'all fucked up over there too. I don't need Democrats or Republicans. I need somebody that's going to advocate for my people. What do I need a political party for or a political color for? What I need is a politicians to advocate for my people. I don't care what color they represent. This ain't the Crips and the Bloods, and that's all the blue and the red is the Crips and the Bloods. That's all political parties are, Crips and Bloods. That's it. They done got out of control. And how you got schools that all look like community college campuses, and you get them like that, and then you don't know that you got a 30-year-old man just dwelling. I mean, they probably go home at night. He probably in the bath. He probably in the gym hooping, probably in the swimming pool, swimming, hanging out. You think he was just laying around in the school, just laying low? Man, when he knew everybody had went home, he was probably in there chilling. Probably went to the AV room, was probably watching movies with his feet kicked up. If he in there for a whole month, he knows the lay of the land. He knows when the people are gone. He knows when he can dwell. Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. He was in there chilling. And was going to class? Come on, man. Come on, man. How you got somebody up in your school going to class and you ain't never seen him before? You ain't never seen him before.
Bueller.
He's sick.
Yeah, he's sick. I mean, was he impersonating somebody that wasn't there that day? I'm gonna be John James today. I'm gonna be Tommy Jones today. I'm gonna be Billy Jackson today. What was he doing in there? Straight up in class. Hey, teacher, got my homework. It ain't funny, but I'm laughing because I don't really even believe that it was possible. But if I hadn't been sent Southfield A&T, I'm trying to tell you. Hell, the school that I've been talking about, Pathways, they say they got more faculty kids at the daycare than kids. This school is specifically set for kids that have babies, mothers and fathers that have children so they can go to school. They say they got the faculty kids up in there. So basically, you homeschooling. You go to work, and your kids there with you homeschooling. You never have to leave. You never have to leave your child. That's a great job right there. That's a great job, boy. If I could work the same place that my grandkids went to school, that'd be incredible. That'd be incredible. But it is what it is. What it is. So, yeah, they need to get out the paint. They need to go. I mean, so I'm just trying to say it's the second semester. It's almost Easter. It's almost spring breaks. How you not know that that's a new person in the school just hanging out, dwelling? Just dwelling, eating lunch. The lunch lady didn't say nothing. Like, who you? You know by now the lunch lady know everybody to come through the lunch line. The lunch lady didn't say nothing. Get the lunch lady out the paint too. You know the lunch lady know everybody's name. All of a sudden you just show up and you ain't got a free lunch ticket. You ain't got no money. You homeless. You ain't got no money. How was he even buying? Oh, he was getting free lunch without no credentials. Everybody got to go. Everybody got to go. How he getting lunch and he ain't got no lunch ticket? You know he ain't got no money, so he had to be on the program. What name did he give? Oh yeah, they living the life. That's why I'm trying to get them on the cast. The pathways is through the faculty. Shit. We can get a check and get free daycare. We living good up in here. We living good up in here. So that was my main reason literally for coming on, because I just see the inmates running the asylums, and that whether it be in the metaverse or our universe. How does this happen? How does something like this happen? And plea deals, bails, bonds, anything. When you know somebody has actually violated somebody and you give them the opportunity to get back out on the street, what are you saying to that victim? What are you saying to that? Here's the thing. The one thing I got sent, Frida, I think you sent me that. Yeah, Free sent me this. Sex offender breaks into couple's home and takes them hostage. He tied up the man downstairs and took the wife upstairs and raped her. The man was able to break free. He didn't go rescue his wife. He went to the neighbor's house. He escaped to the neighbor's house, which I'm kind of indifferent about. I'm kind of indifferent about. Like, why didn't you go get your wife? Why didn't you go protect your wife? Why did you run to the neighbor's house? You knew she was up there catching hell. He left. He left the edifice and went to the neighbor's house to call 911. I guess I got a problem with that. Maybe I shouldn't have a problem with that because now she's safe and the miscreant is in jail. But I think I'm going upstairs. If somebody's messing with Ray, I'm going upstairs. Maybe I end up catching hell. I don't know. But I'm not going to the neighbor's house. I'm not trying to get out the house so I can go call 911. What's 911 going to do? Because now they gave him a bond. He'll never get out because he don't know nobody's got $2 million. But why does he get a chance to get a bond? He should be no bond. Absolutely no bond for him. He should not be able to get out of jail. Even if he had the means, he shouldn't be able to get out of jail. He took 2 people hostage, tied them up. That's kidnapping. Raped one. So I guess he has like 18 charges. You put 18 aggravated charges on somebody and you still give them the opportunity to get out of jail. Our justice system is broken. When they know that somebody has killed someone in an aggravated fashion and they still give him a bail, that is a problem. No bail. You killed someone willfully in an aggravated state. No self-defense. Stay there. You sit down. You sit down and we'll come get you. We'll come get you. You already know, Alexis, you on that free lunch program, you got to have some credentials. You got to have some credentials. He not on lunch ticket. How was he eating? How was he eating? That's a problem, man. That's a huge problem. So yeah, that was the main reason for me coming up here. I had to do this impromptu must do. And to know now, I don't even know what what's his charge is going to be. This is going to be interesting. What they going to charge him with? Impersonating a high school student? What they going to charge him with? What is an actual charge? That's what I want to see. I can't wait for the 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock, somebody's o'clock news to see what his charges are. He broke into a school. Y'all gonna get him for B&E? Y'all need to let that charge go. He stayed there for 30 days, over 30 days. Y'all need to let that charge go. If all y'all got him on is eating lunch, breakfast and lunch and going to class, that ain't gonna stick. That ain't gonna stick. I believe you got negligence charges all over the school, though, from the principal on down to the lunch lady. What about the custodian? You trying to tell me the custodian didn't see him? Come on now. Custodians see everything. Custodians know more about the school than anybody else in the school. Custodians know. You trying to tell me the custodian didn't see nothing? We got a problem there. We got a problem. Yes, we do. We got a problem. We got a problem. Let me find that. We got a problem here. We got a problem here. Excuse me. I had too much in there and didn't give myself a chance to let it out. Man, I found some old audio that I never used that is so pertinent now. Some stuff we had Joe Biden in there. It was like I used some of the stuff when he was talking about getting used to working with Latinos. He was like, y'all better get used to working with them Latinos. Because, you know, there's about to be more of them than you.
Oh, we got a problem here?
Yeah.
We got a problem here? We got a problem here?
Well, you know, I'm going to be on this one. I'm going to have to find out really what they're planning to do with this young man. 30 years old. And here's the thing. If he's 30 years old and he's committed no crimes out here, ain't got no sheet, ain't hurt nobody, somebody needs to be putting him on. 30 years old. He stayed up in a school, ate breakfast, ate lunch, and went to class. And if he didn't bother nobody, he didn't have no aggravated situations, somebody needs to put him on. Absolutely. Find out his credentials. Find out if he has a high school diploma. If not, they need to be sponsoring him to go back and get his GED. They just put something together where they said kids from Wayne, to go to Wayne State whose parents make less than $70,000, they can go to school for free. I don't know what the age bracket is on that, but they need to give him an opportunity to go to college. They need to give him an opportunity, because if he ain't did nothing to nobody and his crime was breaking into the school to seek out warmth and some food, nah, them charges ain't gonna stick. Them charges ain't gonna stick. Not the way I see it. Mm-mm. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna be ready to get up out of here. You know, I experienced something a little earlier today. I'm gonna get a little personal for a quick second. Experienced something earlier today. Not really going through a midlife crisis. I'm just seeing a lot of craziness. You know, like what do they say? You see your life flash before your eyes. I saw some of my past flash before my eyes today. And you know what? You ain't never lied there. You ain't never lied. They do stick if it's us. That's why I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is yet. I don't know if he's an American freedman. I don't know what he is. You know, I'm gonna say that he is, because he was crafty enough to last in a school for over 30 days. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's a brother. Because you know everybody ain't as crafty and everybody ain't as resilient as us. And somebody would have fumbled that. Somebody would have fumbled that if they didn't have that creativity to know how to move, to know how to dip and dive. For over 30 days, eating, sleeping, going to class in a high school. Now, I would like to think that the staff is just that incompetent, but I wouldn't put it past a young brother with a little something about himself. He got a little something about himself. He might have been able to maneuver in there. And I want to know what blew his cover. That's what I really want to know. If he lasted for 30 days, what blew his cover? Huh? But yeah, man, let me a little situation happened earlier today. You know, back in the day, I was put up on an opportunity to be able to run my own business. And it cost me literally everything that I had in the world. There had been monies that I had saved. There had been monies that had been saved for me. There were monies that I borrowed. And I put all that into a pile. And I looked at it. I really looked at it. I had probably about 3 hours to look at it. It's a long time ago. I know it wasn't like all day, but I looked at it because it was like a pile of money and then there was a check. And I cashed it all in. Got a cashier's check. And it put me in play to run a little restaurant in my hometown. That restaurant was DeLong's Barbecue Pit, 314 Detroit Street, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And Robert and Adeline Thompson were the founders of the restaurant. Put this thing together in 1964. And for 27, almost 28 years, they had ran it into a ridiculous business. Ran it into a ridiculous business. And I was always affiliated with the business because they were friends of my father, you know, friends of the family. So, of course, I ate there as a child. I was up there as a child, you know, hanging out, whether it had been with my father, my grandmother, you know, went up there with cousins, aunts and uncles and whatnot. Never knowing I'd have the opportunity as a young man to secure that as a business of my own. So, you know, all of that has happened. All of that has gone by the wayside. And I've built what I've been able to build off of the knowledge of being there. And in some other situations throughout my life, you know, it molded me in so many different ways. Right. I went by that site today because that building is now gone. They've torn that building down and they tore the beer vaults building down. The only building that that still stands on that block, that corridor, is the old Argyros building, which I believe is called the filling station. Is that what it is? Oh, yeah, it's gone, baby. When you come back home, that will not be there. It will start to be the beginning of a new building, a structure. That building is gone. Where you were, what you walked into, sat in the back room, sat in the lobby so many times, that's all gone. That's all gone. All those memories are gone. They have been leveled. It's just dirt. It's just dirt now. Dirt and a whole lot of tractors and bulldozers and scoopers and everything over there. I took some pictures, you know. But it was interesting to see. It was interesting to see. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's progress. That's what people look as progress. And it took some time for me to really get past what I had and what I lost. I thought it should have been marked as a historical site. Just that triangle, the Argyros building, the beer vault, even though the beer vault has been since gone, it was like an office space. And the building, even though it wasn't DeLong's, hadn't been DeLong's for years, it was teriyaki time. That corridor should have been looked at as like a historical point in Ann Arbor. I thought that. Very sad, Alexis. Very sad. I thought that. But what I saw was the lack of care, probably because of the lack of knowledge. A lot of people that are in this area now were not here 20 years ago, let alone 30, 40, 50 years ago with their families. You know, a lot of these people that are coming in, then there are people, like I saw, like the developers, they have their logos and things like that on the new billboard of what it's going to be. A lot of those people are around, and they've been waiting for that territory. They've been waiting for that property to become available. And they weren't concerned about it being some type of historical point, historical site. Absolutely not. So what I think their thing was new money. They want to create some new money. This old land can create some new money for them. And I'm not against that at all. I'm not against that. See, I understand progress. I understand progress. Of course they are. Corporate leeches, of course. Corporate leeches. But money gonna do what money gonna do. And money is gonna always buy. If money's around, money can buy stuff. And if you got enough money, you can buy stuff that can make you more money. That's why I don't get upset when things like this happen, because I understand this is what they call progress. This is what they call progress. And what I looked at, because Mr. Lee owned the beer vault, you know, so I don't know about his family and what his family does, if his family still is even in this area, but they made a lot of money in that beer vault. The Argyros family, they you know, who are still living, they're around here still. They live really well. And Bob and Adeline made a lot of money off the restaurant, and they made money off their rental properties and things like that. And I don't think any of their family that's still around here is hurting. But for generations to come, that should have benefited the Argyros, the Lees, the Thompsons, the McFalls. I mean, whomever was associated directly with those properties should have never left those core people. You had Italians, you had Asians. I don't know what Mr. Lee's ethnicity was. He was Asian, though. And he gave a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters jobs in the beer vault. And then you had the Thompsons, who started the Longs. Yeah. They're pricing us out the game. I'm sorry, they're pricing us out the game. They're pricing us out the game out of our own shit. Yeah. That's what the goal is, to get the property that we may have and price us out the game. We're not welcome anymore. Once you sign on the dotted line, beat it. I believe it was the same family. I believe it was all the same family. Mr. Lee owned the beer vault behind the Longs. I believe it was the same family. But they're all out of the game now. And now those properties, 2/3 of those properties are gone, and it's going to create wealth for someone else. So I understand progress. But that's another blatant slap in the face of community guidelines. Black community guidelines. I can't profess 100%, but I mean, was just every Asian named Lee? I'd have to think it's the same family because there was a direct connection between that thing. I heard people talking about those two places all the time. I just assumed it was the same family. I only ever saw the one Mr. Lee over here at the beer vault, and there was the other Mr. Lee over on Broadway. So it is what it is. What it is, what it is. Bob and Adeline had sold that to Teriyaki Time years ago. Teriyaki Time owned that. So that money that they sold it to Teriyaki Time probably got 3-4 times that. Yeah. Yeah, the money they got for Teriyaki Time back when they sold it to them, to the money that Teriyaki Time just sold to these developers, at least 3-4 times. And good for them. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have did what they did. They did what they did business. We in this to do business. That's the thing that Black Americans got to figure out. This is about business. Stop thinking everybody is your fucking friend. People are coming over here for commerce. We getting driven away in a hearse. They got them down at social services rehearsing. Yeah. They putting people in your place that's just getting over here. Just say this, this, and this. Just say this, this, and this, and you can get in. They're giving them the key to your American dream. Your key don't work no more. Your key don't work no more. That's why reparative justice is the only way for American freedmen. If you've been broken, to move forward, you must be fixed. And you can only be fixed by those who broke you. It's not a handout, it's a debt. See, you give somebody $20, right? Bam! You give them that 20. Nobody saw you give them that 20. You follow me? I know it's just a couple of us in here. So hopefully the people that's in here just following. You give somebody that 20. Give them that 20. Because they need that 20. You don't want them breaking into high school and eating breakfast and lunch and going to class. Just give them that 20. Give them that 20. Let them go do what they're going to go do. Right? They got to 20. And then one day y'all out somewhere hanging. I don't know. I don't really hang the way I used to hang, but just say you just out somewhere. I used to go out and just have wings and drinks, but I don't eat wings no more. I don't really drink a lot. So that's off, you know. I don't know where I'd be, but let's just say I'm out somewhere, you know, in public, right? And it's not even me. We're going to just two other people. Somebody sees somebody else hand you back your $20. And they hand it back to you because it's your $20. And I'm just using the term 20 to keep it really small I'm keeping it really petty. And they treat your $20 just like, here, take this little funky ass $20. Because they know they owe it to you. And you had to ask them about it because you keep seeing them floss without giving you your 20. And now that $20 that they needed because they didn't have nothing, now your $20 that you worked hard for has now become a little funky ass $20. Now, here, really? I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it ends up like that. But that's what's happening out here. Black Americans have just done ridiculous work on this soil for over 400 years. 246 years for free. Another 157 years with immense critiquing. I'm just going through, 16, 19 to present. And then they want to give us back dribs and drabs, stipends, subsidies, housing vouchers, SNAP benefits. Give me my money. Give me my policy and my legislation. Stop holding me back systemically and let me do what I need to do. Repair me. Repair my people. You know what the next video is going to be? I already know what the next video is going to be. How come nobody ever says to American Jewish people, the Holocaust was a long time ago. You need to forget about that. I'm going to have to shorten up the title, make it a little bit more concise. That doesn't sound real sexy. So I'll figure out the title. Hopefully anybody that checks this video out live or playback, I don't know who's here, who's not, who's lurking. Hi, all the lurkers. I know y'all watch from the app, but you don't actually go into the room, so it identifies that you're watching. I get it. Peace. I know you're catching it. You're catching it in the face. I get it. Because that's all I'm delivering. That's all I'm delivering. This ism's coming one way or the other. The ism's coming. If they repair us, whatever happens around us, all these people washing up on the shores that they giving resources to, that's not going to affect us. Once we are repaired, then we can get in here and get to making money off them just like everybody else making money off them. Most of all, if they come in here to make money, they can do it. But they're going to have the same systemic issues happen that anybody should have when they just get to a new territory and don't know the lay of the land. Right now, they're giving the playbook, the blueprint, and the resources. Playbook, how to run the game. The blueprint, they designing the game for them. And then give them the resources. Y'all better stop playing around and dancing, partying, Figure this out. Figure out how to come together or you're going to perish. Y'all gonna stop lauding them free concerts because pretty soon that's all y'all gonna be able to afford. You ain't gonna be able to afford the free concert. They're gonna charge you for parking. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna watch from the other side of the street so you ain't gotta pay for parking? Just listen. The people that used to do that, they used to sit across the street from the concert, had a grill set up and everything just so they didn't have to pay to get into the concert. Them was my favorite people. I'm walking through the parking lot just talking. What you doing, bro? I'm going into the show. You coming through? Nah, man, we set up right here. Got the grill, got the brown liquor right outside the venue, chilling. Because they're going to hear the music just like I'm going to hear the music. I just like to see the show. I ain't never been one of the, you know, I ain't going to go to no concert to sit in the parking lot. We got to go in the show. Black Americans, African Americans, Negroes, ADOS, American freedmen. We got to pull this together now. Now. There are people that are beating you at your game just because we won't unify. Just because we won't unify. Why won't we unify? Why won't we unify? There's absolutely no reason for us not to unify. Why have we not unified? You know who got problems? That Maori girl. She got problems. Something wrong with that girl. Something wrong with that girl. Corey Hardick, a good dude. She left a good dude. She left a good dude. Let's just call it what it is. She left a good dude. Now she out here and don't nobody want that. Don't nobody want Tia Mowry. Don't nobody want her. And she wants to be wanted. When she was wanted, she had a man. She had a family. Everything was intact. She decided to leave, and now she's out here wanting. She is wanting. I tell you, it's bad news out here, man. It's bad news out here. Man, I'm gonna get on this thing and gotta hit up brother Pharaoh today. I had to just do this one, man. Because the losers will win this race. We don't come out of being stuck on stupid as a collective. We got to. They building a world around us and we're in it, but are we going to be functional? Are we going to be functional? Do you want to be functional? I mean, come on, man. Do you want to be functional? And I appreciate Sister Alexis. Appreciate Sister Frida keeping me going in the chat room. It's only going to be a couple of us in here. You know, I'm in the know. I am knowing that the streams can garner more viewers, this, that, and the other. If I schedule them out further, this, that's all coming. And I've been promising it. I've had other things that get pushed in. Things get pushed in front. I got to deal with those in front things. With stuff like this, that community guideline infraction, community standards. That's what it is. Community standards. Yeah, community standards, man. violating community standards. You're almost siding with the criminals when you do that. When you violate my comment, you're siding with the criminals. What are you saying here, man? What are you saying to the victims? What are you saying to the afflicted? Come on, man. So it is what it is. Well, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Have a good afternoon. I'm gonna kind of ingest stuff we got going on. It's a lot, y'all. That's why we got to just start to break stuff down. Let's break stuff down. Oh. Chicago going through it with the politics. They going through it. I thought this dude, Brandon Johnson, was supposed to be for the people. He ain't for the people. And they done found out he from the Caribbean. So he anti-freedman, Caribbean lineage, clicked in with the Pan-Africanists. Well, see ya. Y'all be good out here. One love.